You know, every once in a while, a single performance comes along that feels like an earthquake. It just completely shifts the cultural landscape in a matter of minutes. And that is exactly what happened when P-pop group BINI hit the stage at Coachella. Now, P-pop, or Filipino pop, has been building this incredible head of steam for years. But this just felt different. So today, we're going to unpack that historic moment and the global shockwave that it sent out. All right, let's get into it. I mean, seriously, does any phrase capture it better than this? A cultural glitch. It wasn't just another act on the lineup, right? It felt like an interruption. Something so new and so unexpected that it made the entire world just stop and pay attention. It was like the whole system just rebooted, right there in the middle of the desert. And hey, don't just take my word for it. The data tells the exact same story. On April 8th, right after their first weekend set, Google Trends for BINI Coachella hit a perfect score of 100. 100! That's not just big, that's literally the maximum global interest you can have. This wasn't some slow burn. It was an absolute instantaneous explosion of curiosity. And then, of course, the big media outlets had to scramble to figure out what was happening. Rolling Stone didn't just give them a passing mention, they put BINI in their list of the best moments of the whole weekend. Billboard straight up called them a global force, and the LA Times, they really keyed in on the cultural weight of it all. The common thread here, this wasn't just about the music, it was about the moment. This was mainstream validation on a massive, massive scale. So, it all brings us back to this one simple question. Why? Why this group at this exact moment? We've seen the aftermath, the charts, the headlines, all of it. But what was it about the performance itself that just lit the fuse on this massive reaction? Let's break it down. To really get the BINI effect, we have to basically put the set under a microscope. Because it wasn't just one thing, it was this incredible masterclass that blended two totally distinct elements. Just flawless technical execution and this deep, almost spiritual, emotional connection with everyone watching. Okay, so look at this. On the left, you've got what we can call the technical skeleton. The source material points out their insane vocal stability while doing intense choreo. I mean, that's world-class discipline. Their whole sound was engineered with advanced tech to make every single note pop. But then, on the right, you see the soul of it all. This beautiful contrast between high-tech visuals and just raw, organic crowd energy. And this perfectly shows how thousands of people who didn't even speak the language all connected through one single gesture, one shared feeling. So let's zoom in on one of those techie terms, parallel vocal processing. What in the world is that? Well, it's essentially this really clever audio engineering trick. It lets the main vocal sound super crisp, super clear, and undeniably live, while you still have that powerful, punchy backing track you need for a huge festival tent. It's kind of the secret sauce that proved to everyone beyond a shadow of a doubt that they could really, truly sing live. And what about their sound? That unique BINI sound? Well, a lot of it is built on this specific harmonic palette, using what are called major 7th and 9th chords. Now, these are not your standard basic pop chords. They add this whole other layer of complexity and emotion, creating what the source brilliantly calls a bubblegum sophisticate feel. It's a sound that's both instantly catchy and, musically really rich. So all of this, the tech, the emotion, the harmonies, it all builds and builds into something so much bigger than just one performance. This wasn't just a career-defining moment for BINI. It was a genuine cultural pivot point for Filipino music and identity on the world stage. And this quote from the LA Times? Wow. It just says it all, doesn't it? For so long, international success for artists outside the West often meant they had to translate themselves somehow. Make their art more palatable for a global audience. But this was different. BINI showed up with their identity, their language, their sound completely unfiltered, and the world didn't just accept it, they celebrated it. And of course, that celebration showed up immediately in the numbers. Their huge summer hit, Pantropiko, just rocketed back onto Spotify's global Viral 50 chart. Their new song, Blush, basically became the unofficial anthem for everyone at the festival. And their whole new EP, Signals, started charting all over the world. The demand was just immense. I mean, just look at this number. Let it sink in. In the very first week after Coachella, their brand new Signals EP pulled in nearly 10 million streams, just on Spotify. This wasn't just some fleeting viral moment. This was a commercial juggernaut. It proved the global audience was absolutely starving for more. Okay, so momentum like this is incredibly rare and it's incredibly powerful. And it naturally leads to the biggest question of all, right? With the entire planet now looking your way, what do you do next? How do you capitalize on a breakthrough this big? Well, the answer came pretty quickly. Almost immediately after their Coachella triumph, the Signals World Tour was announced. And that is a clear signal that they intend to take this moment and run with it on a truly global scale. And here is what we know about the game plan so far. It's all kicking off with these massive arena shows back home in the Philippines. But, and this is where it gets really exciting, look at the leaked and rumored international legs. We're seeing some very credible chatter about stops all across North America, through Europe, and into other parts of Asia. This isn't just a tour, people. This is a global victory lap. So as we wrap this all up, we're kind of left with this one final big thought. BINI didn't just have a great set at a festival. They crashed through a barrier. With their undeniable talent and now a world tour on the horizon, the question really isn't if they'll be successful anymore, it's just how big can they possibly get? Are we right now witnessing the birth of P-pop's very first true international superstar act? It sure feels that way.